Hi, I'm Dave Calby of Calbico, and I'm here today to give you a quick overview of the channel cleaning tool. The channel cleaning tool was designed to get in all those nooks and crannies that you have in different kinds of firearms, because I don't know about you, but I don't like to clean my guns very often, but when I do, I want them to be clean, like almost like new. So let's take a look at the tool itself, which comes in a pretty handy little bag here. So the tool itself, the first thing you notice is the grip, and you see these ribs on there, and that gives you the ability to hold on to it tightly and easily with bare hands or with gloves on and so forth. You'll see that there's two edges here, different thicknesses. This one is thinner, this one's a little bit thicker, and there's a reason for that. So the intent of the tool is to reach in, and I'm going to give an example of that a little bit later. And then one thing that's also good about it is it's very strong. It's made of fiber reinforced polymer, and also too, it's made here in the USA, 100%. The tool takes the place of something that some of you probably use and you really shouldn't, and that's things like dental picks and other tools. And these can damage your gun. They can ruin your finish. They can cause scratches to happen on your plastic, your steel, your wood furniture, etc. So you don't want to use these. You can cast them aside. So let's take a moment and go through some of the guns I have here. And this is just a representation. Now, it works on every single kind of firearm that there is. But let's look at a common one like the Glock. So if you take a look at a Glock, one thing you'll notice is that when you take your wipe here, that this thin edge fits perfectly in there. And yes, there was some design work done for that. But also too, some areas that are hard to get in that little corner, you can reach in that, you can get down in there, because the Glock is a pretty square cut gun. Also too, you can take it and you can do some function testing. You can make sure your safety there is working. At the same time, you're doing your cleaning, and maybe the thicker edge comes in better in here and so forth. And you get all of that cleaned. And then also too, in the back here by the firing pin, that's where a lot of carbon builds up, and you can get that sharp edge and get in there and get all that out as well as there. And this happens very quickly, very easily. And then for the grip itself and so forth, you can get in some of these tight areas that they have. You can reach in and get here behind the slide lock. You can get in here behind the armature there, in underneath the block, get that cleaned out, down in that area, back in here by the cruciform, you can get in and get that cleaned. And then of course, where the slides are, you get underneath the slide there, you get underneath the slide there, and such. So on a Glock, that's pretty handy there. And also on the barrel itself, there's buildup, of course. It happens underneath here, and then you've got always a lot of carbon that builds up on that edge there. So again, you get the tool in there, you clean that, get that clean, and so forth. So there's your Glock. Now, another very popular gun is the 1911. And one thing about the 1911 is notorious for all the different cuts and angles that it has in it. So let's look at this one in particular. So when you're looking at the slide itself, of course, you've got a very deep channel back in here, and it's also different depths, you'll notice. Well, the thin one happens to fit perfectly in there, and then you take the thicker and come up and go along that edge. The thicker fits perfectly in that area here, and then down here where the barrel locks, you can get into that area and get that clean. And of course, the slide itself on the sides there, you notice the thicker edge happens to fit perfectly in there. Back and forth motion gets that perfectly clean. And then of course also too, since you've got that lock and that happens in there, get that area in there clean. And then with a rag, you can always take the rag and push it through and get all the areas in here. Like on the Glock, you get a lot of buildup that happens in the area here back by the firing pin. So you get that area, you get that in here. So 1911, a little bit more sophisticated. Also too, on the grip areas here and so forth, you can get down inside. This is very square cuts where you've got the magazine fitting. You've also got this area up front here where you, with a spring gun, you get some cleaning that can get in there. That side here, where you get the cuts, of course, in the slide. Along the edges here of the ejector. And then, for bigger areas, get your towel again, and you can get in, clean out the magazine. Well, here, get it from the top. Very handy. Now, also too, one thing unique about the 1911 is the fact that you got your slide lock, and the slide lock has that deep cut there. And I don't know about you, but before, mine used to build up a lot. But now I can take that thin edge, and it happens to fit perfectly in there, and I can slide that in and get that area all cleaned out. Alrighty, and then the bottom area too, you can get your slit in there and get that area all clean and such. Now, one thing that's unique too is it happens that you can, with this here, you can simply slide it in and get all that clean and wiped out. Load it from the front, get that all clean, run it along the edges. And then you also in there, I may want to use a larger wipe and so forth. Then on the 1911, on there, there's buildup that occurs on the sides here. You can get that area clean, and such. Now, one of my favorites, though, is to use it on an AR. And so I brought one with me, Mark 18, because it fits nicer here on the table. So let's start with the upper itself. So with a cleaning tool, you're able to take a cloth and reach in and clean all these areas in here, especially here where you've got with the charging handle that slides in. You can also take your patch, get in here, clean out the star chamber, get the lugs, get that area cleaned. And then one area that also gets a lot of buildup is this down here where you have the charging handle slide. You can get in that, get in there. The other thing too on these is you've got where the charging handle cuts are on the side, and you can get the tool in here and slide the patch in that channel and get that all cleaned out as well. All right. So there's like on your upper, lots and lots of areas to clean. Now, with your bolt carrier, the bolt carrier has the area in here can be cleaned simply by pressing the tool in, getting that. Another area that have build up, of course, is up here. It fits in there, and then underneath the gas block, you get buildup that happens in here. You can simply get the tool in and get all that out. Work on both sides typically is what you end up having to do. You can also reverse it, get in here where the firing pin area goes, get that in clean. Then you can, and if necessary, you can get a bigger rag. Wipe it down, get your stuffing in, get that area clean, get it in there, get that back in to dry it out, and so forth. Now for the components, for the bolt itself. So the bolt, not by just coincidence, it so happens that the tool fits perfectly right in there. Okay, and then in here where you've got the firing pin channel and where the extractor goes, a lot gets built up in there. You can fit in all those corners that go in there and then reach down into where the firing pin goes. And if need be, of course, you can go in and clean and get all your lugs out. But another nice thing is the ejector spring. You can do a spring test on that. Not only press it down, but also you can take the rag and get in and get that cut that's in there where the edge of the round goes, where the shell goes in, casing goes in, and get that all cleaned out. On this guy, there's a cut in there. A lot of people, I don't know if you even notice it, but there's some buildup that happens in there, and so you can take the tool and the sharper edge and get all in that area cleaned out. And then naturally, if it fits in that area, it fits in your charging handle. Get that nice and clean. And then get your grit rag if you want. Just run that bad boy up and down through, get all that cleaned out, and then back in the corners there. So there you have it. You can see that cleaning is a lot easier. It's faster than you've ever done before with any other kind of tool. I hope to do some more videos in the future to get into more specifics on some firearms like the 1911, because the tool is very valuable for gunsmiths and also for armorers. If you do a more full breakdown, you can see where it fits in many of those areas, and also doing the different function testing and so forth. If you want to see a video on the tool being used for an AR, check out Jerry Mikulek's AR-15 cleaning video, where he uses it extensively and calls it his favorite cleaning buddy. So thank you very much for your time. I hope you found this video helpful.